Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager 2017. I've not recorded this in a while just because I've not had the time. Also, it's probably not the sort of series I'll be uploading that often, just whenever I can. We are still in beta at the minute, and this is the update for the month of September. First game I would rather not talk about. Yes, as you can see, we were well and truly thrashed 7-0 by Celtic. The only real explanation I can give is that I switched the tactics for the first team. If I can just find the tactics screen. Generally got two tactics, got a 4-4-2 and a 4-2-3-1. The 4-2-3-1, which we're playing at the minute, that was the one that I used most. I used it throughout August and we got lots of good results using that. But then I thought, it's Celtic, let's switch to a 4-4-2, go defensive, try and have two banks of four behind the ball and try and, defend and hit them on the break. Didn't work, they scored 7. I actually changed the tactics at half time back to this, but they scored they were 3-0 up at half time and then they scored 4 more, so yeah, rip. That was pretty embarrassing. I made sure I did not look at the social feed though, because I can imagine what people were saying. I also didn't look at the league table because I realised our goal difference was now in jeopardy. Second game was against Aberdeen and we did much, much better. We managed to recover 4 of the goals we'd lost in the previous game. Michael Coulson got a goal on 6 minutes and then Blair Alston added another one on 25 minutes. Danny Swanson actually missed a penalty on 48 minutes, but it didn't really matter because we scored again. Joe Lewis scored an own goal. He's the keeper, and I didn't quite see what happened because the game was so fast, and I assume someone hit a shot. It hit off the upright and then hit off his back or something and went in, and then Liam Craig scored a beauty in the last, with 4 minutes to go. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Managed to get a good result. Final game of the month was against Heart of Midlothian. Managed to get a 3-2 win. Overall, I think we deserved it, although the media called it lucky, but stuff the media. Blair Alston scored early on, but then they equalised 10 minutes later through this guy, Gedeon Zelalem. Yeah. Christian Bielik put us back in front in the 19th minute. And it stayed like that. We defended pretty well, but at times we were hanging on. And it stayed like that until the 82nd minute when Graham Cummings put us 3-1 ahead. Unfortunately, John Suter then proceeded to make it 3-2, which took a bit of gloss off the victory and didn't really help our goal difference. But whatever. It was quite funny because I was reading my assistant feedback, and he was like, "Yo, dude, we got to mark Don Cowie. Don Cowie is this guy here. Don Cowie's a big threat. We need to close him down before he scores. He's getting in the area and he's going to score and all that." So I went to tactics, went to opposition instructions, and I couldn't find him for the life of me. And then I realised he'd been subbed off, and it was just like, yo, what the heck? He's been subbed off YouTube. But whatever. What does my assistant know? I've not really looked at the table for fear of my goal difference. It's 1. That's not terrible. At least it's not like -7 like Kilmarnock. I guess I'm happy with third place. We've won most of our games. That Celtic defeat was our first loss of the season, and unfortunately, as a result, our goals against is unfortunately the second worst in the league. But I guess that's just the way it goes. You win some, you lose some. Hopefully it was just a blip, and hopefully we can press on and continue to stay up the top end of the table. Just got got a few things to mention. First of all, 7 of my players were named in the team of the week. I think this was after the Aberdeen game. So as you can see, we've got this guy here, Tomori, who was on loan from Chelsea, I believe. Yeah, he's on loan from Chelsea. And then Chelsea's manager, who Conte, I think it is, said, "Yo, why aren't you playing this guy?" We sent him up on loan to be a first team player and he played 2 games or something. So I was like, well, we don't have a left back and he can kind of play left back. Not very well, but he can kind of play left back, so that's better than nothing. So I just threw him in at left back and he's done pretty well. But yeah, he was in the team of the week. We've got Coulson on the left, we've got Bielik there, we've got Davidson, Anderson, Alston and Xander Clark in goal. So yeah, 7 of our players were in the team of the week. I think there was only 3 games or something Therefore, there was every chance one of our players was going to get into it. But we managed to get 7 in, so that was pretty funny. A few other things. So you might remember in my... If you watched my FM12 playthrough a few months ago, I had this player that was unhappy and came to me and said, why aren't you playing me? And I played him. Well, basically we've had 3 cases over the last month of people coming to me and whining about not playing. So we've got Chris Miller here, who has actually played, let it be known, albeit not that much, only 5 times, 3 off the bench. Shaughnessy, Joe Shaughnessy came, and he was like, he's played a few times this season, but not that much. And then there was Witherspoon. David Witherspoon he's barely played. He's made 1 start. But anyway, those 3 came to me and were at different times and were like, yeah, why aren't you playing us? We want to play football. So my approach is going to be the same. I'm going to put them in the team. If results suffer, it's their fault. If they play well, it's a win-win basically. I get to keep a good player, or I get to chuck out a bad one. Shaughnessy, as I was about to say, it was quite funny, his scenario, because he came and he was like, yo, why aren't you playing me? Play me more. And I was like, okay. This happened at about 1:45. 2 hours later, 1:45, Joe Shaughnessy injured 4 to 5 weeks. And it was like, yes, instant karma. No, but yeah, Joe Shaughnessy is now injured, so he can't play. So that's basically helped me out. But I'm still going to play the other guys, Miller and Witherspoon. See, the problem with Miller is we got this guy, where is he? Yeah, we got this guy, Pallardo, he's done alright. What's his average rating? 660, it's not bad. He's not really done an awful lot. But yeah, we've got a lot of central midfielders, so it's kind of hard. There's kind of a lot going on there. People have been coming back from injury. Less people have been getting injured, but we've still got 5 people out, unfortunately. We need Tam Scobie back because we don't have any... both our left backs are injured, unfortunately. So, on to the last part of this episode. As you will see in my menu here, we've got 2 Scotland games coming up soon. Lithuania and Slovenia. In real life, I can't remember what the scores were. Oh, what were the scores in real life? While doing the actual recordings, I got the scores wrong. So I will now just get them right as I look them up. I believe we drew 1-1 with Lithuania and we lost to Slovakia. I forgot to mention one game in the last month, sorry. So as you know, I live commed the Malta game. No, I live commed the Norway game where we drew 1-1. But I then played Malta a few days later, and as you can see, we managed to win 5-0, which was really good. However, was it this game I mucked up in? Okay, so basically there was a massive muck-up on my part, and it's surrounding a substitution. As you can see, on the 77 minutes, I decided to take off the captain, Darren Fletcher. As you can see, Darren Fletcher is a central midfielder. Now if we go down, I was probably planning to swap him out with James MacArthur, who's also a central midfielder. Unfortunately, I subbed him out with Scott Bain by accident. It wasn't me being cocky or anything. I just miss. You generally drag and drop players. So like, if I want to take off Darren Fletcher, I would just drag his name down to James MacArthur's name, and drop his name on MacArthur's name, and then they would switch positions. They would, one would be subbed off, one would be subbed on. So I obviously just made a mistake and accidentally dropped on Scott Bain's name. What position does Scott Bain play? He is the goalkeeper, or a goalkeeper. So I had a goalkeeper playing. I didn't notice this. I did not notice. I clicked confirm, and it was only while he was playing I was like, wait a second. Scott Bain is playing in midfield. Thank goodness it happened against Malta of all teams, because Malta, I think, we could probably have a team of goalkeepers and we'd still do alright. But yeah, Scott Bain got his first Scotland cap, but he wasn't even playing his favourite position. He was playing outfield. As for the game itself, Chris Martin got a double, scored in the 13th minute and the 44th minute. Lee Griffiths got a goal in the 24th. So that was 3-0 up at half time. One of their players, Gary Briffa, got an own goal, and Oliver Burke, our young right midfielder, got the 5th goal on 69 minutes. And as a result, that's what the table looks like. Yep, that's right, we are top. We are above England in the table. Look at it, drink it in. This could be the only time we are ahead of the old enemy, aka England. So yeah, not bad. Here are our rules. Qualification. Top team qualifies for World Cup. Teams in second place are sorted. Okay. So there's a second place teams table. Okay, I get it. Right. So basically, the way qualification works is if you're top of the group, you qualify. If you're second in the group, you go into a table for second place teams in all the groups. There's, 8 groups? No idea how many groups there are. Yeah, no, 9 groups. So there's 9 groups. If you're second place, you go into a league table with other 9 second place teams, or the other 8 second place teams, sorry. And it looks like, yeah, if so long as you don't finish bottom, you'll get in the playoff. If you're in the playoff, you will then have to play another second place team, and if you win that over 2 legs, you'll then get to the World Cup. So basically, if we finish second, we're basically guaranteed a playoff place, as long as we don't finish bottom. So yeah, that'll be interesting. On to the main feature. Sorry, that was just an afterthought. I completely forgot I had to show that game off. But now we've done it, we are in the process of choosing a national team. And I thought I would do this on camera, because why not? You don't realise just how much pressure there is on this until you actually do it. Because for the last week, there's just basically been non-stop media attention to the national selection, which is what I have to do right now. For example, this chap here, manager of Sheffield Wednesday, says so-and-so deserves a call-up. All week, people have been saying this guy deserves a call-up. People have been messaging me stuff about players for the international teams. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure on this. So let's see. This is a team. This is the squad that we had last time. Scott Bain, the reason I called him into the squad was because I think Alan McGregor was injured. Let's go to the national pool. Alan McGregor's still injured. Other than that, I'm not awfully sure what to do. Someone said James Morrison. See, I don't know how to pick squads, honestly. I'm not the best. You only get 23 people. You have to pick 3 keepers. I really don't understand that rule. I really don't like that rule. But we have to pick 3 keepers. If in a 23-man squad, I would pick 2 keepers, not 3. But because it's the rules, we're going to pick 3. That limits us now to 20 players for 3 main positions. So that's defenders, midfielders, and forwards, or strikers, or attackers, or whatever word you want to use to describe them. In a 4-4-2, we've got 2 strikers. Therefore, it's probably advisable to have 4 forwards. If I was playing a formation where there was only 1 striker, then I could get away with having 3. But because there's 2, I want 4, like overall. Midfielders and defenders, I probably just split evenly, so that'd be 8 and 8, and that makes up the 23. I don't really know. So I don't really know who to change. So let's have a look at Morrison. This was the person in question. Let's have a look at his form. So, ironically, in his last game, he played Stoke, got 7.0. Okay, and then he had a bad run of form. Albeit he got injured in the 24th minute in a game against West Ham. Alright, so this is the guy in question. Should he be called up to the team? Let's have a look. Form. He has done very well in the last 3 games he's played. Okay, in the 4th game he played there against Rochdale, he came on in the 76th minute, so he didn't get a rating. He's just been very consistent all season. So he probably does deserve a call-up, to be fair. He's a right back. I've decided we're going to ditch Bardsley in favour of Palmer. And if he plays badly, I get to blame everyone else for suggesting him. We've also added Robert Snodgrass, because for some reason there wasn't an extra player in the team. There was only 22. No idea how that happened. But this is what we're going for the game. Let's see what the reaction is, shall we? Scotland star dropped. Who's been dropped, I want? Oh, it was Phil Bardsley. Does Morrison deserve a call-up? Yep, he does. Naismith left out again. Who the heck's Stephen Naismith? Oh, gee, he's actually quite good. Oh, shoot, I should have called him up. Well, that's awkward. What's his form been like? Oh, rubbish, he's been injured. He's barely played. And he played badly in the last game, so I have no qualms whatsoever. And finally, just to end, some good news. Our young centre defender who's on loan from Arsenal, Christian Bielik, has got Young Player of the Month, as you can see, which is pretty good. And I came third in the Manager of the Month award. I would have had a better chance of coming first had I beaten Celtic. Unfortunately, that was a big ask. So yeah, I'm happy with third, given the fact we lost 7-0. Just to let you know, I don't expect one of these too often. I will try. I really wanted to get a season done before the beta, before the full version of the game came out on Friday, I believe it is. But I'll try. We'll see what happens. Tune in next time to see what the results of those international games were. But anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.